Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna show you a tutorial on this look. This is a Flareon inspired eye makeup look, which is a fire type evolution. If you want to know how to make it, then keep on watching. First of all, I'm gonna use a tape and place it on my outer part of the eyes. The tape gonna start from the outer corner of my eye to the tail of my brow. Then I'm gonna set the whole eyelid by an eyeshadow base from Morphe 35B palette. Then I'm gonna use a shade called Hunts in Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette to apply on the whole crease. And I'm gonna use a fluffy brush from the Real Technique to blend it out. Next, I'm gonna move on to the shades called Jax in Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette and deepen the crease up a little bit by using the same brush. Next, I'm gonna use the shade called Abyss from Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Basically, it's a black eyeshadow, so you can use whichever black eyeshadow that you have. In Morphe 35B palette, they have one which is also fine, just to make the crease as dramatic as possible, because it's gonna be a kind of smoky effect, you know, smoke and fire. That's what I want. And for the black eyeshadow, I'm using a different brush, which is a pencil brush, because black is very dramatic and very intense, so I don't want to use the same brush. And then I'm gonna move back to the last brush, which is the fluffy brush. I blend the crease to blend the black to the brown. I will cover my entire eyelid with this black eyeshadow. Actually, you don't have to do this, but I want to, because I want to intensify it like even more. Now it's time for concealer and angle brush. I'm gonna use these to cut my crease. Today's cut crease is kind of unusual because it's not a normal cut crease. It is not either full cut crease or half cut crease, but the cut crease shape gonna look like a fire. I will start off from the inner corner of my eyes by sketching a curve right above my lid. I mean my crease line a little bit. As moving outward to the outer corner, I'm gonna start sketching out the curl and the wave of the fire, if you know what I mean. You can see reference photo of this fire by searching like racing car fire or like speed fire, fire on racing car. on Google. I'm using a very small tiny brush to clean up the edges of the cut crease. Then I'm gonna set the cut crease space by the eyeshadow base. Now I'm gonna start filling in the cut crease. First, I'm gonna use the red eyeshadow from Morphe Perfect palette. Don't worry if the pigmentation is not as you want, because later, this is just a first step. We're just creating a base for something in the future. Then move on to the orange shade in the Morphe Perfect palette. We're gonna create a kind of gradient. Start from red to orange, and later will be yellow. Now move on to the yellow shade in the same palette. I really love this yellow shade in Morphe Perfect palette because, as you know, yellow is one of the hardest shades to create, but I think Morphe does a very great job. To get like the pigmentation that you want, you will like to patch up and build up the eyeshadow. Then I'm gonna use the red liquid lipstick. Here I'm using the matte red liquid lipstick from Wet n Wild and using a lip liner brush, I mean a very tiny brush, to fill in the red part in order to intensify the red color. Then I'm gonna use a Vivid Bright Liquid liner from NYX. This color named Vivid Halo, a very pastel-y lemon yellow, which I really like. And I'm gonna use it to apply it. Start from the inner corner of my eyes and spreading it out. As spreading it out, I'm gonna use the brush with the yellow eyeshadow on it to blend it to make it diffuse to the eyeshadow base. As you can see, this liquid liner brightened everything up like significantly. Then I'm gonna use that Vivid Halo eyeliner again and start sketching out some fiery pattern. I didn't do this in my face chart design, but I decided to do this because I feel like it. And I actually satisfied with it because it makes the fire look more fiery and look more dramatic. You can tell. Now I decide to use that yellow liquid liner to outline my whole cut crease line. This part made a little bit difficult because you really need to get it as precise as possible and as thin as possible in order to get a very clean and neat result. Now I'm gonna use ink tattoo eyeliner from Kat Von D to add a black layer of line on top of the yellow line that I have just done in order to deepen the crease. Now I'm gonna go with the shade Jax from Morphe Chocolate Hill palette and use a lip liner brush to deepen it up. Ta-da! After like taking out the tape, you got a very clean line. But I also need to go back to it by the concealer and a beauty blender. This is a beauty sponge from Real Techniques, which I really like, to clean up the under eye part. Now I'm going to use a black brow pencil. This is a pencil from Lancome to draw my underline. And I'm going back to the shade Hunt in Morphe Chocolate Hill palette and using a small pencil brush to apply on my waterline. I'm going back to the tattoo eyeliner from Kat Von D to dot some small ashes on my waterline. Now I'm gonna go back to the Vivid Halo liquid eyeliner from NYX to dot some few more dots on the crease. It's gonna be very dense as it's close to the fire and less dense as it's moving outward. So here is it. I hope you enjoy it. Please like this tutorial and subscribe to my channel, and see ya!